Welcome to Lesson 2 in Unit 7, Sun and Moon. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, what do we notice about the sky? To answer this question, they observe the day sky at different times and record their observations. They also explore shadows using a bear and a flashlight to represent how the shadow changes throughout the day. Students figure out that the sun's position in the sky appears to change from morning to afternoon. They also figure out that their own shadows are different lengths or shapes at different times of day. In the Engage, students observe the sky looking for the sun, clouds, and other observable patterns. Start a chart titled, What We Notice About the Sky, and record their responses. In the Explore, direct students to this journal page, Sky Journal Worksheet, student page 3. They will observe the sky at 3 different times of day, morning, after lunchtime, and before going home, either just filling in the square with a color that matches the sky, or drawing what they see, like birds or clouds, and the position of the sun. Have them repeat this routine for 5 days in a row if possible. Alternatively, watch any or all of these videos showing the morning, afternoon, and evening sky. Ask the students to point out what they notice. In the Explain, engage the class in a discussion about what objects can be seen in the sky during the day and why the sky looks different at different times of day. If anyone brings up the idea that the sun moves during the day, elaborate on it. Ask them to make predictions about how or when the sun seems to move across the sky. Ask if there is a pattern that they recognize related to the way the sun appears to move. If students don't point out that the sun appears to rise in one part of the sky, move across the sky, and then set, you should. In this lab, students will work in 6 groups. Each group will need 1 flashlight and 1 bear, using the flashlight to represent the sun and the bear to create a shadow. Use the flashlight to model the arc of the sun from sunrise to sunset, starting with the flashlight almost level with the table, shining from the left. For noon, the flashlight should be overhead, creating a very small shadow of the bear. Sunset can be modeled with the light coming in from the right. This tutorial is also available in the curriculum document and slides. In the Elaborate, start by reading aloud Moon Bear's Shadow. A detailed read-aloud guide is here on teacher page 4. After the read-aloud, have students use a turn and talk strategy to discuss why Moon Bear's shadow kept moving in the story. Next, put the students into 6 groups with 1 bear and 1 flashlight per group. Model using the flashlight to represent the sun and move it in an arc over the bear, starting with the flashlight on the desk or table. This shows the movement of the bear's shadow in relationship to the flashlight. Allow students to try moving the flashlight in an arc over the bear, giving plenty of time for the students to practice what was modeled. Students should be able to identify that the light source is the flashlight, mimicking the sun, and the bear is the light blocker, creating a shadow. If the weather permits, take the students outside and draw each other's shadows with chalk, once in the morning and again in the afternoon, making sure they put their feet in the same place each time. Ensure that students note the apparent position of the sun in the sky and discuss their observations. Prompt students to identify the light source, or the sun, and the light blocker, themselves. Then show this video about moving shadows. In the Evaluate portion of the lesson, direct the students to student page 4, Bear During the Day. Ask them to draw a picture of the day sky and of the bear's shadow at 2 different times of the day. If needed, students can use the plastic bear and flashlight manipulatives to help them create their drawings. Student drawings should show the shadow opposite the direction of the sun. As an extension activity, have students label the light source and light blocker in their illustration. A key for Bear During the Day is provided on teacher page 5. By the end of this lesson, students will observe objects in the day sky, notice that sunlight and shadows change during a day, and investigate the movement of shadows using a flashlight to represent the sun.